Welcome everybody to Culture Shock Podcast, episode number 6. This is your boy Pat Bayless, along with my co-host Los. We are here today with 3 special people. One being Ellis, another one being Rhino, and another one being Stephon Davis. What's up, y'all?
What's poppin'? What's poppin'?
What's up? So today, this episode is definitely it's a little spicy. Not gonna lie, it's definitely a little spicy. This episode, we're just talking about relationships, love, the state of really the world as we see it, and as you see marriages go down and all types of shit. So we're gonna dig into that. We're gonna get maybe a little personal, have some good stories, some good laughs, and start from there. So what's up, y'all?
Shit, what's going on?
What up?
Can't call it.
So let's start right off with everything. What y'all think of the state of like relationships right now? Like,
Mythical.
I mean, more than one word. When do y'all start off? What do y'all think the state is right now of relationships?
I feel like
I think it's a battle because
Go ahead, sis.
I think it's a battle because the day and age that we're in, everything is like super accessible. Like we want it right as soon as we ask for it. And I think that our relationships and our generation are struggling because of that.
Right.
Yeah, the grass is always greener kind of mindset.
Yeah, hit the nail on the head.
Mhm.
But I feel like some of a lot of the issues that we're dealing with, and as far as relationships, are the same issues, but they're able to be put on broadcast, so they're just amplified. But I don't think anything's new under the sun. I just think that you feel like it's occurring more because you see it more often. But
So you feel like it's mainstream media then, almost is kind of like what it is like when they have like the social media and they push like all the extra shit that we probably would read in newspapers. You just feel like because of that, it just amplifies also relationships in that way. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, everything is amplified. Everything is. I don't feel like anything that's happening as far as relationships or anything else that's going on is anything new. I just feel like it's amplified, and you can see it more often.
Gotcha. What about you, Steph?
Because
I just think it's you finish that. That was my fault.
No, I was gonna say like you talk about like toxic, nigga. My dad got 2 families, and my dad is 84, so this shit ain't nothing new, bro.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
That's so deep.
My dad got 7 kids, bro. So like this ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like so,
Oh my god.
but
That's
my dad didn't have social media growing up, so it's just like
Right.
it was what it was.
Right.
But yeah, Justin LeBoy ain't got nothing on that nigga.
And dad just missed it by a couple years. That's it. He would have been rich and famous hanging out with Diddy and them.
Right.
That's a fact.
What about you, Steph?
Yeah. I just think honestly, while we transitioning this new way of life, as far as like who's leading, more or less, I think people are trying to find a balance within that. You know what I mean? And traditionally, it's been one way for so long that a lot of people's mindsets don't really know which way is the right way. So I think we're in the in-between period right now. And I think it's going to be tough for us to get out of this when people just don't want to know where the line drawn kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I think we're all just in the leeway in a sense. And when we figure it out, we're going to figure it out kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those.
I just feel like it's kind of like what Steph and what Ellis was saying. It's just like it's generational because I feel like our grandmothers and our mothers was gonna deal with certain things back then, just because that's how the way things were. Nowadays,
Right.
women or men are more open to speak up against shit that they're going through. You know what I'm saying? So, you don't have these people that's with somebody for 30 years going through all this abuse. You know what I mean? You don't have those really. I mean, you're starting to see those people get out of those shit before it even happens. So,
Right. And I think, it's like whenever you go through something, depending on how strong, obviously, the bond is with you and whoever you with, it's like when you go through something, if it's not fitting, it's kind of like I could just put myself out there and there's a bunch of people that are going to see it. So it's like the instant gratification, the love that you're not feeling at home. It's so easy. It's nice to feel nice. Like we all enjoy feeling good. You know what I'm saying? So like,
but that shit is like air.
Right,
saying?
but to a lot of people, they breathe in that shit in because a lot of people, well, not I wouldn't say a lot of people, but there's a good amount of people that visually, that's all they see, that's all they think. You know what I'm saying? It's just visual. They're not thinking inside. They're not thinking long term. They thinking about, I look in this bathing suit right now. I know I'm gonna get mad love. Fuck them. Fuck whoever I'm with right now. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Face value.
And then I'm like, to me, it's like toxic is becoming cool to society now, where that word toxic is like, oh, you toxic, haha, yeah, dap them up, like, yeah, you a cool one. You know what I'm saying? So that's another question I got for y'all is like, do y'all look at that word toxic as something big, or do you look at toxic as?
I see toxic as the word childish and just used in a different sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like
Overused.
for
It
me
is overused.
personally, it's like certain shit that I'm like 31 now. You feel what I'm saying? So that transition period that I went through of doing all that shit when it was fun and exciting and all that shit,
Mhm.
I'm not really into that right now. But even with guys and girls, in a sense, we date younger girls most of the time because they had carried themselves in a more mature way. So a lot of times we revert to those toxic traits dealing with these younger women that's going through that shit themselves. You know what I mean? So you got to set your boundaries as a man and know where you just won't go as far as like compromising yourself and your values kind of thing. So you got to be solid when it comes to that nowadays, I feel like.
That's true.
Yeah, I
I,
feel like
think
with
toxic is
go
overused,
ahead.
and
Oh, D.
sorry, I think toxic is overused, and I think that people love it, especially women. There's like a TikTok that people were showing how crazy their partner was, shooting at them or saying things to them on the messages and stuff like that. Like they love showing that, and they're like, if it's not like this, I don't want to be here. Like,
That's
what?
crazy.
Like, what do you? Why? Why do you have to love the worst?
And is she with us still? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Is that the lag? Okay. But I was gonna say to that too is like to the point is like why do people want this toxic shit? Because I've been in a toxic relationship. That shit makes you toxic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that shit brings something at you like, yo, that's not even me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, why would you want to be in that?
I feel like a lot of that stuff is environment that you grow up in. That's all you know.
It's true.
Conditioning, right?
Yeah. Like what Pat was saying and Stefan was saying, as far as like Instagram, it's instant gratification. A lot of people thrive off of that. You know, I can go on Instagram and take a break from what I'm dealing with in real life and get instant gratification. I post a picture, people gonna tell me, "Oh, this shit's fly. Oh, I look like this. Oh, I look like that." But then you put your phone down and you got to deal with, oh, my light's getting cut off tomorrow, or my rent's due, or I got to change my oil, or I don't have money for this, or shit, I open my refrigerator, ain't no food in there, stuff like that. You know, it's like I feel like with social media and everything I was just mentioning, it's a big distraction away from things that are going on in real life.
Yeah, why are we using that as a crutch though? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the worst part is because
Yeah.
if you don't have all that happening, why are you going to social media like for your remedy? Like why doesn't your remedy have to do with the actual problem? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like
it shows just where we are though, as far as technology. That's just there's studies that show that you get endorphin boosts. You know what I mean? That your brain
right.
is actually getting excited from somebody liking your photo, your phone just going on. Period. You know what I mean? So you understand what time we're in right now.
I mean,
And
think about the same, right, Steph? Like, think about the same. My
yeah,
phone is dry. This is the driest my phone has ever been.
right,
Just like you kind of
yeah,
said, the people like, you know, you see that on Twitter, people writing that shit. Oh, and it's like, you know, I don't know about y'all. I mean, everybody's different, but like as a guy, you know, girls now, a lot of them are wearing like everything see through. You see everything, bro. And like, yeah, that's nice to what a guy's gonna look at. But I feel like there's a part of like the chase and the thought of imagination and all the other shit that goes into it. And I feel like that's kind of getting taken away because women feel empowered, which is fine, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if you guys feel a certain way on that. And sis, I don't know if you feel a certain way as being a woman that, you know, obviously is empowered when it comes to things like that. Oh, she coming back. She come back on a what do you call it? So that's fine. But we'll continue that. Then do you guys feel a certain way when it comes to that, as far as like women showing everything now, as far as that goes?
I mean, to me, I don't really,
go
it
ahead.
don't bother me, no, in the sense that I'm a confident dude, and I feel like what I'm doing essentially is what I'm gonna be doing. You know what I mean, regardless of what Shorty's doing or not. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So if I feel like I'm doing what I got to do, it's her showing who she is and just feeling empowered. I'm all for that. You feel me? I'm gonna tell her she looks good before anybody else gonna tell her
Of course.
she looks good, you know. So that's just my mindset when it comes to that. I'm not really tripping up what she's wearing as long as she's coming home with me, you know.
As you should. What about you, Ellis?
Same here. And also, yeah, like everybody's entitled to do what they want to do, and I'm also entitled. You know, I get to pick and choose. You know, who I want to deal with as well.
Right.
Right. And if that's something that I'm cool with, you know, if that's something that I'm not cool with, I get to make a decision. I'm not going to pigeonhole myself, or I'm not forced to be with somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't have to deal with that if I don't want to. If that's something that I'm not comfortable with, or if that's something that I am comfortable with, you know, everybody has a decision to make.
Right. So what we were saying was pretty much that you know, the empowerment thing, where now girls are more, they always stepped out, but now they're more stepping out, showing everything, giving that empowerment, and, you know, just, you know, looking great, looking beautiful. And how do you feel as like a woman of being in that empowerment state? How does that make you feel, like seeing these beautiful women on, whether it be social media or out doing their thing, killing it, or as they would say, you know, stuff like that?
As Ellis was saying before, it's the same thing that was happening 100 years ago. I think now it is a little better. That I love when there are people who are confident enough to be out there to show themselves off and things of that nature. We as women should feel that way because we are also our biggest critics. So it's easy for for us to be like, no, I don't feel good. I don't look good. You'll hear all the time women say, like, especially a lot of Black women, they'll say like bad hair depression. It's like, you don't got your hair done, you don't feel pretty. As soon as we get our hair, we're gonna post pictures, be like, you know, be out or something like that. That y'all feel the same way when y'all get haircuts. So
facts, super facts.
The beard get lined up is over.
Listen, I step out different in that barbershop. You know what I
mean? But we should all have that confidence. Everybody should.
Every day.
People should be, you know, we should be able to flaunt ourselves. Be your biggest fan.
Right. What about you, Los?
I'm in agreement with everybody, man. I'm taking bits and pieces from everybody, and I think that, you know, like it's good to see, you know, women show their expression through their wardrobe. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, cool. There are some outliers though, when it's like, what did you, sis? What are you doing with that and that? You know what I'm saying? Come on, what are you even doing? You know what I'm saying? I seen girls making she made a top and a bag out of her jeans, like
yeah, that was.
You know what I'm saying? What are we doing?
That's a bad look.
What are we doing?
Also going with that, because I heard Steph say before that if it's his shorty, he's complimenting her. He happy that she's showing her off too. But where's the line drawn if it is your
Yeah, that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know too.
Definitely critical situation.
That's a great question, Rob. That's a great question. Go ahead, Steph. I want to hear this.
Person that's seeing that.
I mean, I hear you, but for me, it's just like how much respect she has for me in a sense. You know what I mean? If you wouldn't want me to go out in a way that would irritate you to the point where you're going to have to tell me to change what I got on kind of thing, then don't put me in that position as far as what you got on. And I feel like the baseline is respect when it comes to all of that shit. You can express yourself as who you are, and I can love you for that because I already knew what I signed up for going into it. But there's a line as far as respect goes that I won't go whenever in regards to you, so I would just expect you not to do the same for me.
You were right there, respect.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's just what it falls down to at the end of the day.
And I think it's also like what you attract, though, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you attract, like, you know, the women who are wildly expressive and they'll wear that, then that's what you'll get. If you attract like a nice, cute, quiet girl, she's gonna dress like this. You know, dress. You know, what I mean,
sense that goes with the let the baddie be a baddie, right?
Right,
you know what you signed up for, kind of thing. So
yeah, you know, what am I saying? Like, she's already around beautiful people and all this stuff. I'm not gonna tell her she can't do this and can't do that. What do I look like?
That's the quickest way to resentment, I'll tell you that. So again, I'm not gonna tell nobody who to be or who they are because I don't want nobody telling me what to do at the end of the day. So it's gotta be a mutual respect.
So now I got a real good question for y'all, and it's obviously gonna be a both-way question. So as guys and as a female, when you see somebody that's cute in the club, right? Because this is something people don't want to hear, people don't want to know, and it gets it's a little deep. But when you see somebody in the club and they look good, where does your mind go? Like as a man or as a I need to know this because some people be fronting on what the hell is really what it is. So I really want to hear y'all personal, thought process of normally when you see a baddie or you see a handsome guy, what's the thought process if you're single? Now this is all barring singleness.
Disclaimer.
Yes, disclaimer. Everything.
Thank you. I was going to start that way anyway.
We're not gonna pretend like people in relationships don't. We see people.
Yeah, no, there is.
Don't go to the shoe store and not see other shoes. Like you see people. So yes, you may be attracted to somebody or whatever, but it goes back to the respect. If you're not acting on it, then we good.
Right.
But I don't know. I can't speak for all females, but a lot of the ones that I know, whatever, it's either do they look good or if they don't, or down to the shoes, down to the teeth, like just checking people out. And a lot of the females don't act on it, or they'll send their friend over, or like it's I feel like I don't know if it's different for men and women, but most of the time it is just looking.
Right.
And just being like, oh, this person's attractive. That's what's like.
And, yeah.
I mean, when you're in that setting, I feel like there's only like if you're like at a lounge or a club, how much conversation can you really have? If you're there, you see someone that's physically attracted, that's where it starts. You're physically attracted to them.
Right.
I don't feel like you should be like, I don't know, that'd be like crazy to sit here and say, well, I saw her. We was at the 40-40 club, and I just really thought that she was like very smart and she had a nice personality.
Yeah. Right.
Come on now.
Bullshit.
You couldn't get that. You couldn't get that from
just by
seeing
looking
her out. Yeah, but you couldn't get all that by looking at her.
Right.
So
I will say this, which is weirdo shit, and I don't think people people shouldn't do this, but it's so weird. People do it. It's like normalized almost nowadays. You'll see somebody out, won't approach them in real life.
No, that's weirdo. Don't even mention it. I already know what you're about to say.
All right.
That's weirdo.
Hit him in the DM.
All right.
Right.
That's weird.
That's so weird, bro.
But the more weird part about that thing is that people do it just as friends or like as just acquaintances. It doesn't even have to be somebody that they're attracted to. A girl will see you and not speak to me or speak to another female, and then hit you up on Instagram like, was that you at such and such?
That shit weird as hell.
It's very weird.
Again,
but
we so programmed with this technology.
Yeah, back to social media. People don't know how to socialize properly.
Yeah, there's really a disconnect, and we don't realize that shit, how potent that shit really is.
Right. The comfort and the confidence that comes behind the social media is absolutely insane when it comes to communicating.
And now, sis, tell me this, because I know obviously you're a female and you've been around plenty of females, but there's a lot of guys that, like you said, don't know how to approach women, right? They approach women, they walk by, they grab them on the elbow, they're over there, all over them, like yo, right? But then there's a guy that's next to him, a guy behind him, whatever, chilling, just on his phone, relax. I start to see that females look towards those guys,
the quiet
man, or the guys that are really laid back, rather than the guys that are over here shaking their elbow. I've seen it so many times, shaking their elbow.
That grab be vicious though. When
then you see the women with arm like this.
That's how clubs really used to be. I haven't been to a club, and I don't know how long, but that's how clubs used to be. Like you walking past somebody with your group of girls, and up, and that's all predatory. And nobody likes to creep. I tell you that. That's what it really is. This guy over here looks cool, calm, and collective. Even if he winds up being a trash one, he not being a creep. So.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Emporium? And you guys ever been to Emporium?
Have I been to Emporium?
Who hasn't? This is Long Island.
So great story. There was a girl that was sloppy, whatever. The guy tried to grab on the elbow. You remember them stairs? Remember them stairs down to the dance floor? She was mad, angry, walking backwards, started to walk sideways. Sis caught the corner, landed on top of people, but like literally right down that shit.
Bro, somebody broke her fall though.
Because that place was nasty packed all the time, bro. That was
nigga elbow to elbow traffic, and
elbow to elbow. But that shit, she was tight. It's like threw her arm, started walking sideways, and literally just went right down them steps. I was like, bro, different.
Tough.
You got Pepsi in that cup, Pat?
I wish. That great. And shout out to Josh.
The grape drink.
Oh, Josh.
Josh be hitting.
I told you, Josh is
Josh
respectable.
be
He's very respectable out there in the wine game. But
No free shout outs.
Word.
I was talking to my homie Josh.
Nope.
But I would say back to your point, Pat. Like, I feel like if I saw a girl, like, you know, obviously in my single days, if I saw a girl in a club, it was very rare that I would act on it. Not say act on it, but I was never the type to like just walk up and just be like, game. You know what I mean? Start pitching. You know what I mean? I was never that. But I was one of the ones like you said before, if I was to do it at the bar and something happened, I made conversation, then I'm like, you know, I just the initial icebreaker I can't do. From like, I'm like a relief pitcher, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Fourth inning and on, I'm the guy, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But not those first three. But I'm like, I would just, she look alright, you know what I mean? But I was a great wingman though. But you know what the crazy thing is?
That's me. I feel like a pimp.
I would have that like game, like icebreaker energy, but as a wingman rather than for myself. Like, you know what I mean? I would come up to a girl like, yo, my man said, yeah, you looking good. But I would never do that if it was, you know.
What do you think the disconnect is though, as far as that? How is it so simple for you to do that in those terms and not necessarily for yourself?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm
about to answer that. I'm about to answer that one therapy.
There's a correlation there though, because you gotta understand, like, that's an art within itself. You feel me? Most people, as wingmen or not wingmen, can't really go break the ice with females just because the level of anxiety they feel. Like. But you can transition as far as like your friend, but not necessarily for yourself. So I'm just wondering why that is.
So fuck all that. Hold on,
you could be like Scottie Pippen and not Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but fuck all that. What about?
But I'm a closer though. I'm a closer. Let's be real. Let's be real.
I know all of y'all have got approached by women or men that you just like, hell no. Right? Yeah. Now, that's not to be disrespectful, but you just like, hell no, I'm good. How do y'all handle that situation? Are you guys nice about it? Are you guys like awkward about it? Because I know, like, for me, I'll be awkward as shit with that.
I'll be mad awkward.
I'm good, thank you. But like, it comes off OD awkward. Like,
it depends though.
I feel like I don't even have that feeling. Like, if we say no, unless you continue going, type, like, all right, chill out now. Whatever.
Yeah, I feel like men can't take a no sometimes. I know for women that's probably a lot worse than men. Men say no, it's all done.
It's not hard. I'm good. Or whatever. Yeah. And men have to try that environment of like a club or something. It's on to the next person that they might be interested in. So it like you just say no and they just turn and keep it going type thing. Right. But don't stop is the annoying. That's the annoying part.
Right. What was you gonna say, Ellis?
Like, yeah, no, it'd be hella awkward because I feel like women aren't used to hearing no. Like, women, they come out the house and they got all up in. They got nigga all up in their face. They come out the house, yo, man, yo, you got fat ass, da da da. Women turn down sex like 15 times a day. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but ain't nobody like beating down my door like that.
No.
As far as like, man, know what I'm saying? Like, so,
like 20 in a couple months.
Nah, hell no.
So 15 times a day.
When it shit, probably even more with social media, you know, nigga be in the DMs.
Oh yeah. So, nigga slide like it's baseball.
Women definitely
crazy. So like turning down a woman, I don't know. I don't know. I feel bad. I ain't trying to bruise no one's ego or anything like that. So
yeah, that's what
like,
I just act like hold you, bro.
I just act like I don't know what's going on.
For me, yeah, exactly. I'm a softie, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. Yeah, I be feeling bad. So. Rejection really is tough, kind of thing. Especially people come up to you and like have you on a certain pedestal. So for me, I don't really want to hurt nobody. I want to bruise no egos, like Ellis said on the way out. So I just try to give them the most respectful answer I could give them. But the nose definitely be solid. Like
I don't even acknowledge it.
I like listen, right? Yeah, I just be like, yo, I'm disconnected right now. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not really looking for that with nobody right now, and I'm just, you know what I mean, whatever I can say in a nice way to kind of just get out of this situation.
Sometimes no message is the best message.
Right? You know what I mean?
Have to respond. That's sometimes the best message that I rather, as a single person, I wouldn't want you to tell me no, I ain't interested. Like, just don't answer.
See?
I feel you.
But sometimes when you get that no, and then it quickly switches like, I ain't want to fuck with you anyway. You know what I mean? Like, you're like,
Little ass dick.
That's ego.
How you-
No,
how-
I've never
the
had
thing is,
that. I've never
how-
had that.
I mean, yeah, we never, but we see it so often.
It
Like, how,
happens.
Yeah, that's
how
why
do
I
you
understand
itemize
it.
somebody
Non-stop, I
so
guarantee
quickly?
you. This
You
is New
itemize,
York.
yeah, that's true. It is New York. But you itemize someone in like 5 seconds. They turn you down in the next 5 seconds, and then 5 seconds after that, you already cussing them out. he was already trying to bag, and now next
That's
thing
telling me
cussing
you
out.
had that shit in the arsenal already. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? How we even get here?
They approach with that fully loaded gun already. They ain't good.
Bad.
In case this bitch want to say something.
That ass. Now I got another term for y'all. It's another cool term nowadays. It seems to be whether you see Justin LeBoy's page or you see anybody else's page. That word sneaky link. Sneaky link. Now everybody done heard that word. I'm sure in their life everybody's done had that at one point or another. What do you feel like that word does for society? Is that making cheating also become cool? That word sneaky link, or do you guys also feel because we're all of the same age group? Do you guys feel like it's played out?
That's literally all it's doing is inspiring cheating because
That's-
it don't
Yeah.
affect nobody else but a nigga in a relationship.
That's it.
I'm a single nigga that do what the fuck I want to do, or who I'm linking with is who I'm linking with. I don't gotta hide and disguise that
Right.
shit for nobody.
Right.
A nigga in a relationship has to move like that. So again, I'm a nigga that's, you know what I mean? If I'm signing up to be on with a chick, I'm not moving that way simply because I know that's where I want to be. You feel what I'm saying? So if I even got interest in anybody else, I'm cutting it. You feel me?
Right.
I'm not even doing that with nobody anymore. I'm just
Out of
at a
respect.
mental place. Yeah, at a mental place right now that I'm not even on some games no more.
Nah, but right, that sneaky link. Bitches love being somebody's sneaky link.
Right.
Or
That too.
bitches love being like, oh, I was with that nigga the other day, and da-da-da-da-da. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that shit
crazy
is so
to me.
short lived though. Like I feel like
It-
all that shit is
Typically.
because don't nobody
realize how
really want
empty that shit is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's empty.
But
You rocking with a nigga that you think is a good nigga because he in a relationship, but he moving that way with you.
Right.
And as soon if he doing that with you, he gonna do that with the next chick. You feel what I'm saying? So your position's never solidified. So how does that make you feel good moving forward?
but it's also how they value themselves too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't place yourself high, you ain't got you. It ain't.
Why would he respect you? Or why would
Right.
you find being a sneaky link?
You know what I'm saying? Because some girls been on the roster and be like, nah, I demand starter minutes. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
They not
I
playing.
gotta cut the team. You know, she's not playing. You know what I'm saying? So
Tryouts.
So
yeah,
does that
I'm saying, no more trials. It's LeBron James, the franchise right here.
franchise Braun?
Yeah.
So does things like I used to piss me off, but like things like city girls, right? The city girls walk and look, right? I feel like especially them, and you really look at the girls that were the city girls. They always had a dude. They always had a dude. And I respect their bag getting and stuff, but those girls always had a man and always look for love, but they played a part.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played this part for women to try to be like empowered, but let's rape somebody's bag and do whatever we want to do at the same time. And I feel like a lot of women that act like that, and they're not like that. I'm no disrespect to women out there that probably are like that, but a lot of y'all women out there, y'all not like that. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Y'all might get mad at me, but y'all be fronting like y'all just savages. Y'all not like that. It doesn't happen. Y'all want love.
You know what someone once told me?
Right.
I was like very like in agreement with that. Oh yeah, women should, because men been doing this toxic shit for so long, so on and so forth. Getting whatever they want out of women. Women should have the right to do it as well. And he told me, he was just like, if men were doing that and it was wrong, why not just change the narrative and everybody try to move in a more positive direction rather than saying, well, you did it for so long, let me do this, let me continue these negative behaviors and so on and so forth.
Right.
Let me have my chance at doing it, rather than just say like, why can't both of us be on? Why can't both genders, men and women, move towards a more positive light or in a more positive direction? And it was just like, yeah,
we shouldn't have to go around trying to match a man's energy,
right?
Any level,
and it's a bad energy too. It's not
right.
And it's a negative energy at that. Yeah.
We shouldn't have to on any level, whether it be relationship, whatever. We're two different species for a reason, like of the human.
Right.
So I totally agree with that. Why can't we all just move on something like, nah, I'm rocking with this person and I'm cool.
Right.
And I'm not knocking people who do what they do.
Right.
Right.
Happy, I'm happier for you, but I agree.
I will say this too, though. I mean, it's like for some, monogamy is the transitional transition. Like that's their traditional like way of life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Where other people are open to other things,
Right.
and which that shit goes back hundreds of years too. So it's like we also can't be wrong if people want to say they want to do this and want to do this just because we don't
but
practice it.
I feel like you should find someone who's okay with
Oh,
that.
of course.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm just saying we can't rule that out in terms of like.
No, I'm not ruling that out, but
You
you
know.
shouldn't. If you believe in having multiple partners, you shouldn't then get with someone who believes in monogamy.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and then
Right.
and then convince them that you want to be monogamous, even though like you have ulterior motives, or you're gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
As a person that has done that myself, I've done that when I was younger. I did that, and that shit comes back and bites you, man. Like you could sit here in front, you have
You trying
fun.
to be a polygamist?
I was having fun. That's all I could say. Yeah, I hurt that person real bad, and you know what I'm saying. I didn't realize at the time, it's real bad. And then you come back and you get karma. It may not be in the same way, but you care about somebody. You get that feeling that person felt for you, maybe, and now you feeling that it's a hurtful thing, and it's like it kind of wakes you up, and you're not perfect, obviously nobody's perfect, everybody makes the same mistakes, but I won't say the same mistakes, but everybody makes mistakes. But you like you said, you got to be honest with that person. Do I really just want you, or do I want you, Deborah, Lisa? Yeah, you already know, Freaky League. And that's it. But you know what I'm saying?
But,
Yeah.
whether you're just messing around, sneaking link, whatever, there's never that conversation of what are we expecting out of this? Like, where are you right now? What do you want from a relationship dealing with a man, and vice versa? What do you want right now from dealing with this female? Together though, like how I'm gonna sit with you and we're gonna have this conversation so that we don't get any confusion when you do start doing some polygamy thing. If I already agree with that, or we know what's up. Like I just want a monogamous relationship, and then that's it.
Right.
That's always so weird, though, Randy. Give me the perspective from a female, right? Because I've dealt with enough in my life where it's like, all right, I'm cool with being that, you know what I mean? We just fucking around kind of situation. But it gets to a point where it's like, all right, what are we?
It
now?
always.
And if you had set those clear boundaries at the front, where do you think that line is drawn as far as what a man owes you? You know what I mean?
Oh, as far as like if you're like,
as far as like, I want to move forward, but this nigga set the agreements to be like, this is just what we are, kind of thing. And not saying it's always just happening with females, because now it happens with guys too. You know what I mean? So
it's tough though, because everybody's feelings gets involved. I don't care if y'all just fucking whatever. Everybody's feelings gets involved.
True.
As far as the female, our feelings get involved, and y'all start doing stuff that now we fantasizing like, oh yeah, I really want to be with this nigga. Like I can see this happen. So that's where it's like, I know what he said, but this is how I'm feeling now. So,
and I think guys in the wrong, and girls, but I think guys in the wrong sometimes where they say that and they have their agreement stuff, like you said, and then we start doing relationship shit. We start taking them out. We start doing shit. So now they thinking that they the girlfriend already. So it's like,
that's
always innocent with that. So, we be like, yeah, we just this, but now I'm gonna take you out. We go collect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, now we start feeling entitlement. Like, yo, I was just doing this with you, this with you, this with you.
Because it's familiarity. It's familiarity though.
Yeah,
because if you know what I mean, if you bring her around a lot and she's she's sleeping around, that she gonna feel like it's her spot. You know what I'm saying? That she get comfortable.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? And then all that groundwork you've laid down, and trying to set the boundaries is out the window, because you know what I mean. But it's hard though, because it's not. Who wants to be like, all right, we did the deed, get up and leave? Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? Who wants to do that? But
you'd be surprised. A lot of people be cool with that, bro.
I'm sure they are cool with it, but you know what I'm saying. But it's all the regulation of emotions at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like Renee said, like we all deal with emotions. You know what I mean? That's what sex is. You know what I mean? So it's like what
Right.
do we do after?
Mm-hmm. I
I
definitely.
feel like at this point in my life where I'm at, like, because I know in the past, like what Pat was saying, like, you tell somebody, like, yo, I'm not trying to do this, so on and so forth, but you move in a way where, you can move and it can be confusing.
Right.
Or you move in a way where you get all the perks of being in a relationship, but you're able to step out when you want. When it's like when shit start hitting the fan, it's just like, but yo, we're not in a relationship, so you know what I'm saying?
Everybody hates that on the other side.
And
That's that I want my cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That nigga Ellis is speaking from experience.
Yeah. That was still like this.
That nigga backed out that card a couple times.
I've been in that position before, and at the time I couldn't see it because I couldn't see it from the other perspective.
Right.
It's just like, well, I told you straight up, like, this is how I feel. But it's just like, well, I'm investing in you as far as like, like we on the phone for mad long. You know what I want to, my 5-year plan is. I know what you're doing. Da, 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 da. You freaking, I know all your past trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put these expectations on me. I'm just like, wait, whoa. Like, where's this
That's
coming
it right
from?
there. That's it right there.
That was your best friend.
Right.
That's where the loan is drawn.
But
Go ahead.
And it's like you like in my situation, like I was getting all the benefits without actually committing, and the person on the other hand was getting those same benefits but wanted that commitment,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, nah. And that's where I was wrong. I should have removed myself in that situation, knowing that someone wanted more from me, and I'm milking the situation because it's beneficial to me. I'm getting everything I want, even though it's at the expense of someone else. And that's thinking back on it now, it's just like, yeah, that's not right.
No. And as soon as we start liking somebody, we turn into like, we your mom now, you're handling your business.
Facts.
Full control.
Laundry done all that.
Start doing all
facts.
Now, but the question is sometimes, like I would say, even for us, male, females, sometimes we say like, yeah, boundaries, and it could be the opposite, but it could also be us too, where we like, yeah, at first we just thought, we just wanted it to be this way, and now we're really feeling them.
All right, let's be real,
because that's happened.
At these, all right, at these 4 guys here, how many times has that happened?
Has what happened?
Like when you start messing with a shorty and it's on some real benefits thing, and then you the one that's like, oh, so what are we? Like, what are we doing? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Very few times, if any.
Yeah, not too often. It's like the opposite. It's just like the other way around. That's happened more.
Right.
But I got a shout out for the men that probably feel like that. There's gotta be men that gonna watch the podcast and say, "Yeah, we've been there."
Yeah,
and them niggas.
I mean, it happens, but not as often.
Because I'm not gonna lie,
Right,
shit. We be pieces of shit when it comes to that. Because if I got that set up with you, I gotta go on with another couple chicks. You feel me? You got your day I'm rocking with you. You feel me? She got her day I'm rocking. So I'm not really trying to change those circumstances.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Be consistent with that Monday. You feel me? And that shit adds up over time. Yeah. She's like, yo, what we doing? Like,
yeah.
But then that's what you get comfortable, and then they want a Tuesday. I'm like, whoa.
Exactly. It's like, yo, my schedule is booked right now.
I can't put you in.
Y'all start.
What I'm really okay with is like, if somebody's not comfortable, that they just like cut me off. I'm just like, all right,
Right. I mean, that's the easiest way, because
you know what, like, talk about like, I guess, toxic or whatever. Like what I used to do, like if I knew that I didn't want to be in a situation, but like it was like beneficial towards me, like the sex was good or whatever, I stay in that shit for as long as possible, knowing damn well I don't want to. I don't see a future with this person. I'm like,
niggas delusional.
But there's some Ellis. There's some like you.
This shit is like crack, man.
But there's some like you, and then there's some that just like to chase.
I've been around for 4 years.
Right. It's at 4 years. That's a long time. That's a real long time.
Shorty rocking for 4 years.
That nigga signed a contract.
Look. You're the ring.
That nigga signed a contract.
Yo, they got a whole dog. They got everything together. Y'all live together, got a whole dog, all that.
I ain't going to that extent.
Yo, bro, but
I ain't playing house with nobody, not wanting to be with
No,
people.
but the thing is though,
nigga
how
got
she
shorties on the team for 4 years.
Yeah, I'm like how she don't want a bigger, she don't want no promotion in 4 years.
Veteran max, you know what I mean?
No promotion in 4 years, Ellis.
That's what they call a sleaze.
I'm over exaggerating from like 4 years. But like, I'll stay in a situation. I'll stay in a situation that I don't want to be in, like for a period of time. And then they'll be like, oh, you know, this ain't working for me, and I'll just be like, oh yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, we don't have to do this, you know.
That nigga
Like,
Ellis checked out 6 months ago.
Be like, that nigga sound tight.
That bitch Ellis got his work boots at the front door. He walking out.
That nigga said, I already got everything I left here.
I saw this coming like 8 months ago, but it's all good.
Damn.
How do you guys guys and girls, how do you, when you break up with somebody or you mess or the sneaky link is done, how do you approach them and tell them it's done? Do you go through text?
Breakups are the worst. Breakups are the worst.
Text, phone calls. What do y'all do? Text, phone calls, or what? What is the? Well, you just cut them over. You never hear from you again.
I'm a notorious long paragraph texter that usually gets a phone call and a response.
Nah, I've done it over. Like, I don't know. Breakups are the worst. Honestly, I'd rather somebody break up with me.
Yeah, nah, I'm not.
It's easy to deal with.
Yeah. I'd rather somebody break up with me than breaking up with somebody. Especially like if you care about somebody, but you know it's not a good situation, you break up with them. Because I always leave that door open. It's a little bit cracked.
I'm gonna leave the door open.
The 4-year Ellis, the nigga going for
right. That ass.
That nigga said I got a player option for my 5th year.
What about you, sis? I need to know, sis, how she do it. Come on.
Honestly, I don't have to do that.
It's like this. Goodbye.
See ya.
Can y'all hear me?
Nah, I can hear you.
Like, we talking about like relationships though, not like just like
relationships.
Like cause like a fling, like I'll go somebody quick. I'll go somebody.
Burn that bridge.
That's good. See, since I had to deal with that, that's a good thing. Yeah, for real. That's a great thing.
But if it's a relationship, I'd rather you break up with me.
Most of the time I've been in relationships, it's been them breaking up with me because I don't know.
You must have been a bad boy.
Yeah, for real.
I mean, you must have been a bad guy.
You know, it's life. You know what I mean? I got better as time gone on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You know, black men don't cheat now, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Do you believe? I gotta ask this question, fellas, and Ranice for sure. Do you feel like every guy in this world has a bad body?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
My son Steph is, that's what I'm saying. No matter who they look like. I don't care who you think.
They have a bad body.
I'll try to tell people in the past, the bad body.
Tell your friends about
like a skeleton.
Yeah, like a bad body. When you're just like, damn.
I thought you meant like a bad, like physical body.
No. I mean a bad body you cracked and you just like, damn, I did that shit.
We all the lights was off and shit.
We all got those. We all got the skeletons.
I'll show you a liar.
That's what I'm saying. I try to tell it don't matter what the best looking dude in the world got a bad body. It's happened. It's been there.
Hey dog, some of these chicks got personalities and niggas be attracted to that shit. That's contrary to niggas believe.
Sometimes you be in a rough spot. You be, you
never know. Like that's true.
You be dealing with this. And,
That's true. That's true. He's right.
That'd be a drunk night, nigga. So many
a lot of them will go to that.
Like, don't act cute, nigga. A lot of niggas be out here fronting. I'm not one of those though. I keep my real. I probably got a couple of them. 250
ready to do something. I said 250 and they ready to do something.
It's also a time in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
College.
That's what I said. Sometimes you be going through stuff like,
you're
young and dumb.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to run through everything like there's no tomorrow.
And then after a while, you like, I got to set my bag up.
Right. You gotta balance it off.
You know what I mean?
Gotta be fine. You gotta be.
I'm in a new tier now. I'm in a new tier.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't
do you think women are like that? Like, you think women don't have that too?
Nah.
I know women who have, but I don't think
it's
that's
less
like a
in
female
that
trait. Yeah, I don't think.
Right.
I don't think females are like I'm just gonna be out here doing.
I
That's
feel
not
like y'all
like
more selective of.
yeah. Well, yeah, you should definitely. I
Well,
definitely think we
everybody should
value.
be, but I'm saying that one that
We treat our shit as like precious. We should
right.
anyway.
Some of
But
y'all,
yes,
some of
yeah,
y'all.
I
that's
was
what I
gonna say
mean.
some of y'all.
I know some females who aren't like that, or
Right.
Some with charity, you know.
yeah, they don't care. They just
NGO.
there's people who sell it. So
Hey,
Oh boy. What do y'all feel about that OnlyFans stuff?
respect.
That shit crazy.
listen,
OnlyFans?
get your bag. That's,
I'm
You
not
think
gotta
you
knocking
get
it.
eat.
your bag?
Yeah.
I haven't
Nah.
subscribed. I haven't subscribed.
Me neither.
That's
You know what's
crazy.
funny, dog? I'm a nigga that needs clarity on a day-to-day basis. I don't even follow IG vixens or some real shit. The
No.
only way I follow one of the baddies is if they're my friends or some shit I actually really know them and like.
That's a
You
good.
don't understand how much distraction that shit really is. Like you just be sitting on your phone staring at ass or some creep shit, and 5 hours go by and you ain't do shit.
And liking all this shit just
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm cool on that shit.
Right.
Nah, it's some
I'm-
type of
I'm
addiction
on
that's
productive
attached to
shit.
that.
And
Yeah.
Ask y'all
I still
something.
don't understand it because
Have
porn
any
is
of
free.
y'all been on a dating app?
No.
Yeah.
I did it one time in my life when I was 22,
I've
bro.
never-
I did it one time and it was
I had-
out.
never been on a dating
Shut that shit right
I had
down.
Tinder, I had Tinder for a little
Well,
bit.
I could give you a profile right now from a chick. I'm looking for damn.
Stephon never even on Stephon.
Access,
You sound like you a
access
regular
service.
on the
I'll tell you, I haven't seen enough profiles to know. Access service. They be loving niggas with access service till they get a nigga. That's what they do for work. You feel me? It don't make no fucking money. And all of a sudden, shit change.
Right.
Now, how honest are we being about these? That's why I don't even play these shits no more. I just be on that shit just to have a laugh, though. I ain't going.
That shit. No, that shit.
And sometimes it's like during the like I was on early Tinder age, right? So I'm like,
Niggas was warming on that shit.
niggas wasn't looking for relationships then.
It was like this,
No.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Hinge,
That
Bumble,
shit's
all
a
these other
video
ones.
game.
These shits is there looking, it's different. eHarmony, they was the serious. If you were serious, you were eHarmony.
Christian Mingle.
Christian Mingle. If you were serious,
That's fucking crazy.
black people meet. If you were serious, you was going
Black
to that
people
shit.
meet.
You know what I'm saying? If you was joking around, you went to Tinder. Come on, let's just be real. Let's just be real. They wasn't for real. You wasn't really trying to bag something.
I literally had that app for a day. Well,
Yeah,
black
I
people
never
meet.
used
I
it.
seen no like.
Pat would.
And I would. I would try. You know what I'm saying? Black and white photo.
Definitely, Pat absolutely would.
That ass.
Catfish, you catfish somebody?
OD. Pull up like.
I'm half black.
I never forget when Sis saw me. Sis met me when I was 10. A little Spanish 10 in the summertime. She told me. She told me like December. She said like this. She literally went like this.
I said, Pat, I can see your veins.
Pat, you white.
Yeah, his arms look like they ain't getting no oxygen.
Please, I see him now.
That's the catfish. Pat.
She said like this. She said, "Damn, you ain't got no tan. You white." I said,
was
"Yeah,
white."
I was like, "This is my normal color." Like, you see what I'm saying? This is why
Pat was probably ashamed too. He was like,
I was tight. You know what I'm saying?
You got
I was
me.
tight.
You got me. You got me. We have my makeup on.
Got my makeup on. That ass. But
y'all ever? Oh, what was you gonna say, Pat?
Okay, Ellis. Okay.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna transition to something different. So go ahead. You go ahead. Ask that question.
Have y'all ever had
Answer's yes.
like a friend like a homie do
Like
some
a
weird
dude?
shit, do some corny shit trying to articulate it properly
Do something behind your back.
like stab you behind your back or like over like a girl or something like that
or dirty Mac your name to a chick like
that
your name. Yeah.
I feel like
you ever had it?
Like
Are you asking?
Nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Has it ever happened?
Nasty.
Nasty word.
Hell yeah,
Nigga,
it's nasty.
My entire life, nigga.
I feel like that happens more to men than it does. I mean, I feel like it happens the same amount for men and women, but men hear about it more. Like girls be pretending and hide it a little bit more.
Yo, girls be the worst, bro. Like a girl be like, oh yeah, a girl be like may like a dude or something and be like, yeah, but his girl's ugly. I'd be like, well,
yeah,
like?
They'll throw
and
dirt on their girl, like, his girl or something.
His girl not ugly. What are you talking about?
Or even to their friends, they'll be like, why did you choose her? Like they do funny stuff like that. I've seen that.
I've heard that, yeah. To me though, damn, I lost my train of thought for a second. You got lost. I'll get right back to it.
I would just say sometimes like it backfires. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like,
Yeah, sometimes it backfires.
That's
like
what I was going
sometimes
with it.
like a girl could be like, oh, da da da, she do this, and then they be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Whereas you know what I mean, with a dude, it's like, yeah, I mean, if my homie comes and tells me about a girl, I'm like, oh man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different. I'll be like, oh, you know, so I ain't touching
but like
you
if your homie like talks bad about you to a chick so he could back her.
yes.
That's dirty, man.
Yeah, that's
dirty,
that's
man.
And it's worse when it happens like when
That's
you
corny.
when you orchestrate it. Like you be like, all right,
Yeah.
yo, I got these two girls, it's gonna be me and you, da 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 da. And then
Right.
when you link with them, he's
Push
like
come to
trying
shove, boy.
he's
What's the
trying to
big
like
Yeah,
shade you. I'm like, you can't have both of them, bro. Like
Right.
what,
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
like I
That's
said,
always
dog,
been
I've had
weird.
that
That's
shit
always
happen
been
to me
weird
for
me.
so long, nigga, that the saying goes, all press is good press. It's gotten to a point where chicks just be trying to come up and find out on their own. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's what this nigga's talking about. That shit free advertising. So right now, welcome that shit.
Right.
So why you
promo.
saying that about you type shit? I'm
Right.
like, nigga. And then you get it to your Mac from there because he opened the door for you, low key. So
Right.
you got now to
He
work
did.
these shit. So
He did.
Sometimes I was gonna say sometimes I backfire on people. It
Yeah.
just backfire on people, you know. Definitely.
But it's, you know what the worst thing about it too is, like when they do it behind your back and they think that you don't know, and then they want to be fake it in your face.
This is
You
a
know what I
dap
mean?
up,
And play like they're not doing it. But it's like,
Yeah.
I know you know, like you like, come on.
But in those moments, you just do this. You just put the fist out. You keep them right here, bro.
Right,
You don't gotta go crazy. You can know somebody doing something. You could, you know, if what are you gonna? My question is this: what you gonna do? Fight everybody? Because so many people that are gonna do you wrong, right? So what you gonna do? Fight everybody? Get mad at everybody? You gonna let them stress you out while they laughing? You over here stressed. My thing is, you gonna keep them. You know what they are. You know who they are as a person.
I laugh louder.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. You do what you do. You know who you are.
Yeah.
You know who you are, and you're gonna move exactly who you are. If at the end of the day you have the confidence in yourself to know who you are, you ain't gonna trip too much. You might be a little tight. Obviously, that's human emotion, but you ain't gonna trip too much. I mean, I like Sis said, you know, it happens more, I think, with men where they find out than women. Women are gonna be sly about that shit. Oh, sis, you look good. Then she gonna tell the other sis, that bitch ugly. She don't look like shit.
Yeah, or throw dirt on her name to a man or something. It's funny. It's weird.
Bitch been fucking everybody. Come
right.
fuck. You know what I'm saying? So
big weirdo shit.
That goes into this though. So what do y'all think? I mean, I think all of us at one point in life think about we want to get married, you want to do things like that. What do y'all think about marriage nowadays with the expectancy of like, I think it's what, 3 to 6 years? I could be off, but I think it's like 3 to 6 years.
I know that
marriage
between the ages of 25 and 35.
That's the rate.
I think
the rate.
80 to 85% of people in that age get divorced.
Right. So what do y'all feel about marriage? Do you think marriage is a dying thing? Or do you think marriage, I think it's just this time and it's gonna come back?
It's going through a transition.
You know what's funny?
Right.
Like marriage wasn't an authentic thing that humans did. Like see the Jamaican come out real quick. I can't help it. But now, like that was a constructed back in the days. Like marriage was a business agreement. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Because women couldn't have bank accounts and jobs.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? And you're married into a family with better like options as far as like the value they have within their own portfolios, this and the third. So you're setting yourself up for a business agreement. You feel me? So a lot of times it wasn't even about love. So I think now people go ahead, Aaron, it's my fault.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I already lost my train of thought. So you
Sorry. I don't know about for men, but I do like women fantasize about that since we're kids. There's like very seldom do you hear a woman say that she doesn't ever want to get married, and if she does, it's probably because she done seen something crazy or been through something crazy or something like that. I don't understand why, especially now, two people don't want to continue to build together, and you don't have to be married for that to happen. But why not solidify it legally, where what I get, you get, and our family gets, and stuff like that.
I feel like a lot of people don't look at it from the legal aspect. They just, we in love and da da da. And I feel like a lot of people don't get to know their partner fully before getting married. Like you get married and then it's just like, oh shit, you got bad credit. Like damn.
And not for nothing. There is not for nothing, but low key there is a screening process. Like for not for It's like you gotta scout.
I didn't
You
know
gotta,
that.
you have
I
to
need to
apply
know.
for a license.
Well,
too.
not only
Like,
that, but
legally.
I'm saying like, not for nothing. I would want to know what your genetic makeup is, your background, if you are a sickle cell carrier, if all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your vision, that is important stuff.
Yeah, because now I'm trying to procreare with you. I need to know.
It's breeding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the strongest. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas talking about eugenics now.
Now I have a question for Steph, just Steph by himself, because I don't know if y'all know. My God, Steph has been on a TV show. I don't know if y'all know. If y'all don't know, y'all should know. So, Steph, you was on. Explain to us what you was on, Steph, because I know, but explain to everybody else.
Yeah, it's a show called Discovery. I saw called Love in the Jungle. I'm streaming on Discovery.
I thought you were gonna say MTV Cribs.
Nah. Well, soon enough, hopefully.
Let me show you how I'm living.
So, how did that show? Did that show show you anything as far as that stuff? Like, did it show you anything as far as like just mental makeup of like females and stuff like that? Because I know it was, from watching it, it's a lot of different shit going on. So, did it show you a mental makeup?
I mean, it shows you so many different personalities all in one area kind of thing. You get to see how people interact within that shit. And like you just see the ins and outs of what makes people tick. That was the coolest part to me, was like the whole psychology aspect of the shit and just kind of reading everybody in a situation. So I think I got the biggest like learning point from that, just seeing how people operate within those lenses. So that was the coolest thing for me, I think.
Well, that's dope. That's dope. I definitely, everybody who hasn't seen it, what is it, Discovery Plus, right?
Yeah.
Plus,
I think it's on Hulu and Amazon and stuff right now.
Love Island.
Love in the Jungle.
Love in the Jungle.
Yeah. That's dope, bro.
They cut you a nice check.
You can't say nothing to that.
You can't say nothing.
None of that. No, hell no. That's that question you can't say.
Man.
When like as y'all going through relationships and love, like, do you have like a moment of self-reflection?
Yeah, I mean, you're really kind of you're faced with all of your shit right in front of you. You feel what I'm saying? Like a lot of us get to escape, you know what I'm saying? To just get away from our partner or the situation whenever we feeling frustrated. Nah, like there was none of that shit. Like,
right.
You talking about on the show?
So you gotta, so you're in such a tight quarter that you have to deal with all those ugly things that we run from a relationship every day. And really work through that shit. Like, so that was the biggest thing to me, like being faced with that shit so directly. Like,
right. Do you guys have love, like self-reflection as far as like love on y'all daily basis, Ellison and Sis and Rock?
Not on a daily basis. I mean, you can go ahead. Aren't you you're in a relationship though, right?
Yeah. I just got there. So in the beginning, because nobody thinks that we do anything wrong and stuff like that, and obviously in like new relationships and stuff, you're learning yourself again, and you're learning this person and how to interact with them and stuff like that. So I just got to the point where it's like, let me take a step back, analyze myself, and then analyze the situation, kind of thing. It ain't easy. I got a therapy bill to show you that.
Hey, therapy. I love. If nobody's ever tried it, go to episode 1 of Coach Shock Podcast. Learn a lot about therapy with that. I mean, therapy.
You never been to therapy?
Me?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I've been to therapy.
Therapy is.
I mean, therapy helps you a lot, man. I mean, I think as far as like love and self-confidence, it helps you a lot, because sometimes
understanding yourself as well.
Yeah, sometimes in relationships you could just lose yourself, whether it be relationships or even just things you do. You could lose yourself and how much how dope you are, because sometimes you could be out with, like, say I could just be with Steph and Steph could be going through something and he's out, and it's like I've known Steph for years, so I'm like, man, he not acting like himself. It's good. And I'll talk to him, and I'm like, sometimes they just need to hear that reassurance. So I think therapy kind of helps you build back that confidence and that reassurance of like, yeah, I am that guy. You know what I'm saying? I can do these things that have knocked me down, and I think that therapy is crucial in relationship therapy or even just personal therapy. So
yeah, personal therapy.
I know Los is back, so I know he got a lot to say.
Why?
He took a smoke break. I'm gonna blow on the cliff. He's telling me.
What made you think that?
You had a bogey?
That's how they do it.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Los the president.
Yeah, I'm cooler right now. Cooler right now. Definitely would be president. Too much stress.
Los, have you had self-reflection? I know you in a relationship as well. So have you had self-reflection being in that relationship, or has it just been, or you kind of like put them first type of thing?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. Like obviously, self-reflection. Like the better I am, is the better my relationship is. But obviously,
Right.
you know, me as a person, I want to. I like doing the little inconveniences, for her to get. Like I like to make shit lit for her. You know what I mean? So it's like I'll do those little things because I think those matter too. But putting her ahead of me sometimes is definitely the wave. But I think it's a line because it's like some people could do that so much where they, like you said, they lose
It
themselves, and it's
wasn't
like
so.
you're not putting yourself first. Like you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, and not for nothing. Like I think sometimes when people get in relationships, they forget that they're individuals.
Individuals, right?
You know what I'm saying? They're so
I think this
caught
happens
up.
often too.
Right, it happens to a lot of people.
They're caught up in the collective identity and the
Shit
collective
is the
appearance
norm.
of a
Yeah.
couple that they forget that they're a pair of individuals.
Yeah, when people have kids too, they lose that. They just automatically become mommy, and then that's it. It's like you're still you. You still can be you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Balance is everything in this life, dog.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why you need a partner that you could establish that with from an early age. I mean, from an early age in the
Early
relationship.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Early
yeah, you know what I
stage.
mean. You know what I meant. But
No,
come on, man.
yeah.
See what you can tell when we start fucking me up.
They
You know what I
had
mean?
one move, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean,
You
you
wasted.
They got spent in it.
yeah, but it's the GMOs. Shout out to the GMO cookies. But yeah, like you could see, like shit like that affects people. You know what I mean? If it's not regulated.
Right. Right. So Rhino, Stephon, or Steph, Ellis, I got a question for y'all that I've asked everybody on every episode. And if y'all watch the episode, y'all know what question I'm about to ask. I'll start with Ellis. He the first one to go up. That word culture. What does that word culture mean to you, Ellis? When you hear that word, first thing, I don't want you to think too crazy. First thing you hear when you hear culture, what does that mean to you?
Like how a group of people interact with one another, whether it's language, uh, whether it's food. Like there's a whole bunch of things that go into culture, but I think it's how people. I would define it as just loosely how people interact with how a group of people interact with one another. Now it's more nuanced than that. There's a bunch of things that factor into that, but I would say how a group of people interact with one another, and that creates a culture.
Love that. Love that. What about you, Ronald? What does culture mean to you?
To me, it means black people because we are the trendsetters.
Yes. Come on.
We're the blueprint. We literally paved the way, do it all, even though we get left behind most of the time. We're the trendsetters. So.
And what do you call white people? Culture vultures.
Culture vultures.
Not the racism.
Right.
We're not supposed racism on the show, but I get what I'm saying.
Nah, but I'm being serious.
There are appropriate levels of appropriation.
Right, exactly.
Yes. You can celebrate.
Absolutely.
You can acknowledge. We can be aware. Part of culture is definitely having the culture and competence and culture awareness, because we need to understand everyone's culture.
Right.
Even if it's.
That's it right there, though, because you got to be well traveled.
Yeah,
a man of all cultures is the person. Not to say a man, but physically. You know what I mean? But a person that's well traveled is the most cultured person, and any earth is their turf. They could go Johannesburg, they could go to Germany, they could go to fucking France, Fiji, and be good anywhere because they know the culture.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
What about you, Steph?
That's something I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm gonna piggyback off what he said, but for me, culture is expression. You feel what I'm saying? I've grown up in so many different areas, but I've just taken all the good that I've learned from each place, you know what I mean, and adapted it into me. You know what I mean? So I feel like culture is expressing yourself, whether it's talking, music, dancing, you know what I mean, the way you dress, you know what I mean, the type of art that you make. All that shit is expression. So it just all falls into that same category to me. Like you said, black people have been doing it for a long time as far as expressing ourselves in creative way. white people, you know what I mean, traditionally come along and know how to monetize it. So that's really the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's just where we just got to figure it out as far as black people and learn how to sell our own
Own stuff.
culture. You know what I mean?
And quantify it.
And
Right.
profit off our own shit versus like
Starting
going
with
to
the patent
outsource
office.
and you know what I mean, outsource and give away of our work for free and all of our, you know what I mean, all of our genius for free. That's just my biggest
But you
thing.
see, like I've always had, you know, one guest on the show. You hear one guest, you hear each episode, but you guys having 3 different answers right there. Y'all kind of collectively came together, but y'all have 3 different complete answers, and to me, that's what makes that word culture. And a part of this just the aura of this show is so dope because everybody's got a different view, right? So like everybody's got a different view in it, and it makes it special. That, and you know what I'm saying? That like everybody just could come together as far as that word, and that's why I love that word culture, and that's why every one of y'all is just so perfect in that way.
Thank you.
You know. And you know, like I said, you know, there's certain things that even for me, you know, me being, you know, Irish and Puerto Rican, I come into shit like Ronnie say, damn, you white boy. So I come into shit, and they just automatically think like, you know, he gonna be this way, he gonna be this way. But I've been in culture with certain things that they're like, oh shit, you like that baked mac and cheese? That shit, yeah, like that shit slapping. You know what I'm saying? Or shit like that. So it's like,
gotta be.
well, you know that baked mac and cheese, but
That's how
you
it's
know,
gotta be.
they hear me talk, they hear this, and they're like, oh shit, it's a little different. And I feel like culture and where you're around and the environment that you surround yourself with is just so it's important because it can help you grow. You see so much fuck shit happening, so many bad people in this world. You see the school shootings, whether it be in anywhere, Texas, you see the thing in Buffalo, which was tragic. Even Long Island right now, 2 of them this week. You know what I'm saying? 2 threats. It's just tough.
There was one in Belport and where else?
Belport and
Damn.
There's another school, I think, in
It was
Nassau
another
County.
school, yeah, and it's just like, man, for what? It's like they trying to top each other, and that's another thing. That's a whole nother subject.
I don't know about y'all. Yeah, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, you can get
when we
into
were
it.
growing up in our school, we used to always have fake bomb threats and everything.
Bomb threats.
That was
That's
like super.
bomb threats. Yeah,
It's like when I guess when we were all in the same age group.
Yeah,
that was like when we were going like middle school, junior high, high school. That was like not too long after Columbine. Like remember that was a big thing. So like the bomb threats were. Yeah, I remember we used to have like bomb threat drills at Longwood. Right. We would have to go out to the football field, and then when we had like actually a kid in my graduating class, I don't want to say his name, but he like his life was like fuck. Like he got caught doing a bomb scare. I don't know if he actually made a bomb or whatever, but like yeah, his life was messed up for a little bit. I don't know. I hope everyone deserves a second chance. I hope he's doing all right now, but.
And
he was.
And as a question, because I know none of y'all right now have kids. You know, I'm the only one right now that has a son, but none of y'all have kids, and that's what makes us diverse. What do y'all?
Nigga.
Out here where you might have kids, you know about. Y'all might have kids y'all know about. But
I definitely don't. Don't put that out there. Don't put that out there. I definitely don't.
What do y'all feel? Because I know how I feel personally, but what do y'all feel personally about this being so prevalent now? Is like it's scary, bro. Just even going to supermarkets, it's just scary. But what do y'all feel bringing a kid into this world? I know we're talking about marriage and everything else, but what do y'all feel about a seed in this world?
I go back and forth, bro.
I want to be a mommy so bad.
I
feel like kids are cool, but I feel like now more than ever because of social media and everything that everything that we have access to, like that family, that unit, that community, has to be like super close knit, super tight. A lot of people have to be involved in raising that child and putting a lot of positive energy around that child.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Like my brother's having a baby pretty soon, like and like on our side, his side of the family and his girlfriend's side of the family, like I don't know, I feel like confident like the child's gonna grow up in like a good atmosphere.
Right. Mm-hmm. But do you get scared? But Ellis, going back to that, do you get scared once they leave the so-called nest? Do you get scared now when they're in?
Not really, because I feel that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like a lot of things that are happening, nothing's new under the sun, bro. Like so, a lot of the things that like you look at the kids like you look at these kids, middle school, high school, junior high, whatever, or even college, like, oh my God, they doing this and da 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 da. We're doing the same shit, probably like 10 times worse.
Right.
We just didn't have a phone
amplified.
to capture it.
It's amplified, right?
And it's amplified, but we didn't have a phone to send it, and then kids in California can see it, and then kids in Utah, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, the shit that we was doing, bro.
Trail parties and shit.
And I'm sure, regardless of this happening or not, parents have fear. You can't.
Yeah.
You're not always gonna be able to protect your child.
Right.
You're not always gonna be able to be there for them and things of that nature. The crazy things have happened,
Right.
whether you're there or not. So I think that fear will always be there. You just gotta.
And then your child's gonna be an adult,
them.
and gonna be a person, and
Right,
they're gonna be an individual and make decisions that maybe you won't understand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like with my father, he was like, you know, when it came to certain things, like when I went into the military, and like when I got into the military, that was
Justin
the
LeBoy
first
Senior,
chance.
shout out.
That was the
Veteran
first
status,
chance
my
of
nigga.
that was the first chance of freedom like that I
Right.
had. I was on my own, and I was out there wilding. Like I was on Facebook. I was on Facebook wilding, and then my mom would call me and just like, "Oh, I can't believe you're doing this." And my dad would tell her like, he's discovering who he is as an adult male. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? He's in this atmosphere. He's on his own, and he wants to see how he measures up or in the world again. You know, out there with other adults. Because I'm 18 now, and now I'm an adult. I'm legally an adult, still a kid, but I'm out there on my own. And you know,
Right.
I've been taught all this other stuff. You know, all these things growing up at home, but now it's just like, oh wow, I know I was taught this, but I make this decision. And it's just like, okay, life goes on. You know, whether it be right or wrong, it's just like I'm at a point in life where I can make my own decisions. Whether
Right.
they be right or wrong, you know, they're all learning lessons.
Exactly.
And like
Sis.
my father was like real big on that, like letting me develop who I was as a person when it came to certain things. My
Right.
mom, you know, she couldn't. She just like,
Of course, that's
you don't
mommy.
need to be
That's
doing this. Yeah, you don't need to be
That's
doing
the key
that,
to it,
so on and
though.
so forth.
That balance again.
Rhino, I know you were saying something. You was really hard on this. I seen your face. So you say you want a kid real bad. Now, how do you feel about bringing them into this world?
Yeah.
This world is
Baby
fucked
fever.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's so
up.
bad. It's like really bad.
She's dressed like this.
I don't even think about the possibility of something being so negative about something that could
It's beautiful.
that could be so like such a great experience. So when I think like I want to be a mom, I want to be able to nurture and love and coddle and all that good stuff to a child like all the time. So especially seeing most of my friends have children,
Right.
and halfway being a part of a child's life in my life.
Mhm.
So being able to do that, seeing that stuff just makes it like 10 times more like I want to be a part of that club,
Yeah, that's dope.
So.
What about you, Steph?
Nah.
It's all good.
I go back and forth with this all the
It's
time.
all good.
A lot of my friends have kids too, like, and I love them like they're my own kids, bro. So that does inspire me to like. I know I could, you know what I mean? Once I have my own, I would just direct all that towards my kids.
Steph definitely the best uncle. I ain't gonna lie. I see Steph Snapchat all the time. He the best uncle.
I'm with kids all the time. You feel me? So I definitely have that love, man. And I want to do it, but it's just so many factors. Not even just the whole protecting them aspect, but just like the rate at which
Find the right
people aren't
person.
together anymore. Yeah, exactly. Like I grew up in a broken home in a sense, and I just
Right.
told
I don't
myself
want
I
that for
was
my
never
child.
going to be. Yeah, I was never going to be in that situation. So
Right.
just dealing with women so far, I'm like, dog, I couldn't deal with you for 18 to life. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
days I want to escape from that shit and never kind of go back. You feel me?
Right.
So once I had that kid in the middle, now that kid split and he's going through a life that I went through because now we can't see eye to eye. So that's always my biggest fear with that thing too. Not even just protecting them, but protecting the household or protecting things I believe on as far as raising a child. So.
And that's a great outlook on it too, because you went through something that personally I didn't go through, but the situation I have is kind of that. You know what I'm saying? It's that tough of it's tough. You know,
Right.
you hear son saying, I still want to stay with you.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, that's the hardest thing, man. It's like
It broke
That's the
emotional way.
part, yeah.
It's
And then
just
that's
brutal.
whack. And then the fact that you're gonna be the dad. I already know how I am as like a competitive person.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna be the son at all. I mean, I'm gonna be the dad at all the games. Like bust that kid's ass. He only 8 years
Yeah.
old. But I'm telling myself, bust that kid's ass. That's gonna be me. I know that.
That's what like I feel like I low key got it baby fever too, but it's like I'm
Where's
always
your
in it.
girlfriend at? Where she at? Tell her.
No, she knows. You know what I mean? She knows. But it's also like
I'm on the
it's
phone.
also it's timing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, well, that's exactly what she says. But but it's timing. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
just practicing
also,
right now.
yeah, exactly.
But
but I feel like me because I got like I got the experience nephews and nieces and shit. I was a young uncle. Feel me? So I was like I got to see all of this now. You know what I mean? So it's like
I was an uncle at 4 years old. I was an uncle before I was born. That's because my dad was 84.
your dad was really like that, son. I ain't gonna lie. Your dad was like
Real-
that.
Real
Boy
ghetto
was
shit.
showing up the club out
That's
here.
like DC Young Fly Dad. His dad was mad.
Papa was a
My
Rolling
dad had me
Stone.
at 52.
Oh,
bro.
yeah,
My
I
dad
still
had
understand
50.
that.
Yeah, the old
Yeah.
50, and then I was
How's your
52
oldest?
when I was born.
How old's your oldest sibling?
Jeez.
Shit, listen to this. So my
Wait, you
dad's
52 when
oldest
you was
daughter.
born?
Yeah, so listen to this. My dad's oldest daughter. I think her and my mom, because my mom was like 37 going on 38 when I was born. So it's like 14, 15 years apart.
Uh-huh.
But his oldest daughter is like 7 years younger than my mom. Crazy.
Bro.
Pops
Yo,
is
that's the point I
outside.
made earlier. Niggas
Yo,
date
what?
younger women just because
Right.
they mature faster.
And
thinking
it's
we
like, but it was a
mature
different
later.
time, and like my dad's whole thing, like I mean, he be saying like wild shit, bro, and it's like
That Rick James, man.
this nigga, like he be saying like some like a lot of, and that's why I also I go back and say a lot of nothing new under the sun, but certain some things that he says aren't applicable to today. So like he'll say shit like he said, I don't care how many women you got, just make sure they all got their own kitchen. I'm like, nigga, like you can't live like that no more, bro.
Yeah.
That's a
And
fact,
essentially
though.
what he's saying,
That's a fact.
It sounds like Charles Barkley right now.
That's a fact.
Essentially what he's saying is
They have their own
if you
crib.
have, like, yeah, make sure they have their own crib. Like
No,
my
I get
mom
that,
had her own.
Early.
My mom,
Yeah.
like he moved my mom. He bought her a house in Gordon Heights, and then he had his, he had his family prior to us. His youngest son is like 17, 18 years older than me. So they were already pretty much grown.
Right.
And he had 5 children before he met my mom. They had 2 together. So, but yeah, he'll say shit like this, make sure they have their own kitchen. But from what I take from that is just like I throw that part out, multiple families know, but the part that I do take from that is wanting to provide for my family.
Right. There's still positives in the things that you see, which is great.
I was taking it as make sure there's somebody that can bring something to your table too.
Right, exactly.
Right. They could create.
You interpret it however you want. Huh?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
how you interpret it. But what he meant was just make sure.
What he really meant was make sure they got that kitchen.
Keep a couple bitches. That's what
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So make sure you got wonderful. Fuck that.
And then he also says, that nigga be dropping gems, boy. He got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
You gotta write them down. Write them down. Write them down. Write a book. Make a
He be
book.
like, and I be with him every day because we work together. So yesterday he was just like, yeah, I don't care how many. He said, I'll never turn my back on my kids because the Lord won't bless you if you turn your back on your kids. He said, he be like, Leon Brown, shit, I take care of my kids. None of my kids on the welfare line and da. So I'm just like, all right.
I love Pops, bro. That's crazy.
He's flexing. He's flexing his dad on his dad status. He's flexing on that.
I'm just like, all right, you got it. You Superman. All right.
But that's what I want eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to. I feel like it's important because it's like obviously it's the legacy thing about it, and it's like you want to have a little.
Yeah, I'm big on legacy too. Like
you know what I'm saying?
Dad, like
that's it too.
home.
That's why I be going back and forth, dog. I want a little me. I think it'll be a benefit to the world.
I'm not gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not, but it's also like it's a thin line because you don't want to teach them some of the stuff that your condition that you learned. You know what I'm saying?
But they ain't nothing like it, bro. I'm telling you, ain't
Like the
nothing
whole thing,
that.
like a whole thing about like beating your
Oh, yeah.
kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll never hit my kids. I got enough
Right.
basketball growing up.
right, exactly.
I'm never hitting my
See,
kids.
you see what I'm saying?
I'm never
See,
hitting my kids.
Listen, I didn't felt what that belt was like. You know what I mean?
Just-
You know what I mean? It's like, is that the right way?
I mean,
No.
but for me, I deserve every ass whipping I got because, I mean, Pat
That's
knows.
a
Like,
badass
I used
kid,
to be
motherfucker.
off.
That's a
I
badass
used to be-
motherfucker right there.
I used to be off the chain,
Oh,
bro. Like,
wow. But
obnoxious.
Steph. So
Mad
like
hyper.
for example, bro. The other day, my son's turning 4 in July. The other day, he literally sitting on the couch on his iPad. Literally, I'm cleaning. I'm away. He's like, Dad. I said, what's up? He said, I want to be just like you when I grow up.
Oh,
That's
shit.
right,
Bro.
right there.
That's
That right
I
there.
would start crying.
Yeah, right there. Like, bro, that's
sorry.
nothing that has to do with
Nah,
anything
that's
he's
hard,
watching.
bro.
When he tell you something like that, bro, it don't matter what goes on in the world. It don't matter what.
Right.
Bro. Those are things that I can't explain. But like when y'all have kids, it's gonna be like, bro, it just hit different. It don't matter if you got the worst shit going. If they tell you they want to be like you when you grow up, I'll be like, yeah, some of me, but you know what I'm saying. But it's just
That's
like,
like
that's
the purest
fire.
form of unconditional love right there.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
The
When your child is
unconditional
that
love
small and they just love you because you're their dad or you're their
Right.
mom or whatever. Like,
And I
Right.
feel like I feel like your child can't do anything, like nothing that you still won't love them.
exactly,
right.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Purest form.
Exactly. But y'all, this is episode 6. Rhino, Steph, Los, Ellis. We're gonna have y'all for multiple episodes. There's a lot of big episodes coming up. I ain't gonna release what's going on, but there's some special shit coming up. I appreciate
Start paying
all
us
y'all.
soon,
I know, right? We got payroll. You know what I'm saying? Payroll.
Y'all own your own content, right?
Yeah. My guy producer right here to the right. I went to the wrong way, but to the right there, Los. That's the guy. All the
I'm gonna be
information.
getting in contact with Lo soon, man. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to
bro.
start my own. You know what I mean?
Yep, I'm telling you, guy special, dude
Set 'em up.
special. Hit him up. Nope, he got all the answers. But for real, y'all, I appreciate y'all for being on. Love y'all.
Thank you
Y'all
for
all
having me.
special in your own special way. And this was perfect, man. I appreciate y'all. And this is episode 6, y'all. Good night.
Like, Jordan Heights in the building.
Thank you,
man.
Pat.
This nigga gang banging this shit.